This is my fifth take and I'm over it. Okay, hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ayo and I talk about books, K dramas, and everything in between. So if you enjoy that, please stay a while. Okay, so in my last vlog, I feel like it's a missed opportunity. I should have ended it with stay tuned, ellipses. The thread, the drama. Ooh, we're intrigued, are we not? Okay, so it's today's Monday, and I think I posted my last vlog on Saturday. You think that I'll have continued since then? No, I didn't. Have I been reading? Yes, a page each day. Why? I think we need to reevaluate. I think it's just time to admit that I'm not gonna read as much as I used to. That this grief has pretty much taken over my life. I don't want to read. I wouldn't read the way I used to, because I was the girl that could finish books, like this. But sorry, it's not me anymore. So it's gonna go at a slower pace, which I feel like it's a good thing for you guys, because then I have so much more to say about each book that I'm reading because I'm taking my time to fully go into it. Right. I feel like that's a good thing. But let's go back to the point of this of this vlog, which is that we are going to be reading Say You Remember Me by Abby Menes, the second book in my highly anticipated releases series. So these are all romance books. And Abby is a big romance author. Okay, so I was saying in my last one that I really, really like Abby. I have read, I really, really like Abby as a person. We're talking about our books here, and no. So, Part of Your World, I have read Part of Your World, I have read Yours Truly, and I have read Just for the Summer. Those three books, I have read them. And Part of Your World, I liked it. Okay, it was okay. Yours Truly, I got so mad. And Just for the Summer, I thought it was okay. Okay. I feel like one thing about Abby, she loves a miscommunication trope, and I cannot stand that trope. Because why can't you speak to each other? Why can't you speak? Okay, you are in your 30s. Learn to talk. Okay, communicate. Please. We're over it. Okay, we're over it. We're adults. Let's know what we're doing. So my brother says I'm always repeating words, and it's so dramatic for no reason. I'm so sorry, mannerism. But anyways, yeah, Abby, I don't like it. So what else? I don't like the miscommunication trope. Abby uses it a lot. Number two, I feel like Abby has this thing that I think modern romance writers do. I feel like we are substituting this. We went from alpha males who just are like, "You're mine, I own you," blah 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 blah. And then the woman had no agency and she lived her whole life and catered for the man. To this men that just look, they just roll over for the women. I'm like, I want a man. Okay, guys, am I the only one? I feel like she falls into that category of modern romance writers that make me want to defend men. And what do you mean I have to defend a man? Okay. Oh, if you know anything about me, I don't want to defend men. No, but I feel like I'm always defending men when I read this book because why is he going through this? Why is he going through this? He deserves better, okay? Why isn't she putting her all into this relationship? Why am I the only one doing all the work? Okay, yeah. No. This is a reverse problem. Okay, why is that? Why is that going on? I feel like we just switched one problem for the next. When what we need is equal partnership in this relationship. Let me tell you about yours truly. Okay, is this a rant? Yes, it's a rant. Okay, don't worry, this is my channel. But I just felt like when I got halfway through that book, I was like, what's wrong with you, girl? What's wrong? If you don't want to be in a relationship, don't be in a relationship. If you want to be, pull your weight. Okay, pull your weight. Why are you stirring up drama for the sake of drama? Why do you have to defend men? Because, okay, I don't want to give spoilers in case you haven't ready, but I just felt like Jacob was giving his 110% in that relationship, and she was maybe 2%. Okay, Brie, what was her name? I can't remember. Maybe 2%. She was just the drama. She was the drama, okay? And I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay, like yes, I love my girls. Okay, go you. I know what they say. I support women's rights and I also support women's wrong. That's not me. I don't support women's wrong. I will not stand here. I like sister, I think we need to do better. Okay, I'm here to tell you to do better. And I think that men deserve better, and it's the men in Abimene's books. They deserve better. I just feel like okay, so and I feel like K dramas do this. They have this equal footing. Okay, you know what? Yes, yes, this is what I'm talking about when I tell you guys that I love a K drama, because I feel like K dramas often, it's both people bringing their all into this relationship. Okay, I don't. I'm trying to think of a drama like that where okay, when life gives you tangerines, like Grand Chic was doing the most. He was doing the most, but don't sleep on my girl Eson because she was giving it back. She was giving it back. Okay, one time, one of his bosses did something to him. They hurt him. Eson was ready to fight. She was like, okay, take me to that man because I will show it. What do you mean? What do you mean you're hurting my man? Okay, she was ready to fight. She was ready to fight. And in eating, I remember in eating love. Look, this was our brother's best friend. Our elder brother's best friend, mind you. Look, our brother got mad at him for dating his sister. When she found out, she was like, did you put your hands on my man? Did you put your hands? So elder brother, she was ready to fight. Okay, the guy has to be like, you better apologize to me because she's gonna come for you. And that's what I mean, like the energy. Okay, give me back my energy. That's what I want. I don't want men that just cower and oh my goodness, I don't find it attractive. I don't want you to roll over backwards because I want you to also expect more from people. Like if you're giving all this love, I expect you to get it back. I think that to me is a romance, not like you are doing everything and I'm just here. I'm just here for the vibes. Look, don't get it twisted. If I ever fall in love, my man asks me 100. Like, yeah, I don't like men, but my man, ooh, don't speak on it. Don't speak on it. But yeah, so that is how I feel about Abby. But then I've got on all this right. So I feel like this is the fourth book I'll be reading by Abby Menes. Say you remember me, and I've heard mixed reviews. People say they don't like it. People say there's too much TikTok, too much references. And like I always tell you, I don't really mind any of that. But at the beginning, I'm already a bit annoyed. I feel like I'm just ranting. Oh my goodness, am I just gonna complain through this book? Oh, this is bad. This is bad. Oh no 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 no. This is not what I want to do. This is not what I want to do. So anyway, this will be my fourth Abby Menace book. Am I gonna see? This is my last chance. Okay, if I don't like this one, Abby and I are breaking up, and yeah, it will be sad, but that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, this is gonna be a long look. This is gonna be a long one because why have I spoken for 10 minutes? Wow. Okay. And I will, yeah. So I'm gonna try to do a readathon, but don't want me to that. Like I said, I'm not even reading at the same pace. Okay. Look, this might go up on Friday. Look, that's all I have to say because yeah. Oh, okay. A book a week, a book a week. That's what's happening now because I just can't. I can't. So I will see you in the next clip, but I have more to say. So I'm 9% in, 9% into Say You Remember Me, and I should tell you the plot, right? I'll tell you the plot when I'm a bit more into it. And you guys, is it Wednesday? Yes. Did I last update this blog on Monday? Yes. Have I read anything between Monday and Wednesday? No. I told you I was gonna do a readathon. I lied. I didn't do that. Okay? But okay, first, before we go into that, let's do a dub. So I've seen a lot of people do this. Drink, outfits, and book of the day. And I'm gonna do that. So this is my drink of the day. It's a iced caramel chai latte. It's very sweet, so careful going into this, but I love it. It's I need some sweet in me. Okay, yeah. Then outfit of the day is this top and trousers, pants, trousers that I found. Yeah, what do you think? I love the color on this because I tend to wear a lot of black all the time. But a friend gave this to me and I was like, this is nice. I love pink. It goes well with everything. You'll always find me in black, black trousers all the time. But with the black, it kind of offsets it. It's really nice. I love it. And book of the day is, as usual, Say You Remember Me for the vlog. And that is what, yeah, that's the double of the day. But let's talk about Say You Remember Me. I have been on social media too much. I've been okay. I need a break. I'm addicted to social media, and I think I'm gonna force myself to take a break. I'm not allowed to open my social media apps anymore, and I need to read my books. I need to read my books because this is a job. I need some discipline, and I need these blogs to go up. Okay, Say You Remember Me, Great Big Beautiful Life, Woodry Nights. We need to stop talking about it and start doing it. Okay, lock in. Lock in, Ayo. I can't believe this. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take some time on social media. I'm not allowed to be on social media. If I'm not on social media, then maybe I can watch a K-drama. Sorry. No, I meant if I'm not reading a book, maybe I could watch a K-drama, but that's it. That's all I can do. Read a book, watch a K-drama. That's all you can do because I have to finish these books. Okay, I do. So let's talk about Say You Remember Me. I'm 11% in. Okay, and look, I think this is also another problem. I'm not excited to pick this book up, which is not what I want. Okay, I want to like this book. I want to be like people that love this book. Why? Okay, so you know how I am about pop culture references in books. I am all for it. I think writers should do them. I think that is lovely. I think it tells you a little bit about the period and time, all of that. Great, no problems. But I feel like I'm seeing what people are saying when they say that because there's a lot of Akota references in this book. What is Akota? Akota is A Court of Thorns and Roses. Now, that's a big phenomenon by Sarah J. Maas in the fantasy world. Everybody loves it. Blah, 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 blah. Have I read it? No, I don't know anything about that. Okay, I'm not a fantasy girl. If you're new here, I love classics. But there is mention of Rhysand. And Rhysand is a popular character in A Court of Thorns and Roses. Well. First mention, I was like, okay, secret nod. Okay, I feel like the people that love Rhysand, that love Akota, that love Sarah J. Maas, they'll love this. Great. Second mention, okay, wink, we're still going with that. Third mention, now you're starting to annoy me, Abby. I don't like this. Stop it. Okay, what do you mean it looks like Rhysand? And what does that even mean? I don't know what it means. Because if you write in a book, this person looks like Darcy. Which Darcy? Are we talking Matthew McFadden or are we talking Colin Firth? Which one? Or do you read the books? Because this is different people. Different people. I feel like you shouldn't do that. But I also feel like I get what she's saying. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I think by the third time I was irritated. By the first time I was like, I don't mind it. I can Google it. What does Rhysand look like? I mean, how was it described in the books? But then I also feel like it doesn't give me anything to work with, you know? So I don't know. I'm conflicted about that. And I feel like I'm supposed to like this guy. I mean, the main love interest, the male love interest. I'm supposed to like him. His name is Xavier, her name is Samantha. I kind of don't like both of them. They're putting me off. And I don't know, maybe that's what's also causing me not to read because I'm not excited to pick up this book. And I feel like that's a problem. And I can't quite pinpoint why. You know, I'm thinking it's the pop culture references. I'm thinking but I don't mind pop culture references. So if it's not that, what is it? Is it just that I feel like Abby is leading me on, and like Abby wants me to like these people, even though it's just the beginning. She wants me to think like they're good people, and I'm just thinking, you want me to think that, but I don't think that. It's kind of like they're annoying. Okay, I know, and there's a lot of. I think there's a lot of trauma to come. I know that I've heard about that, but I'm still. Oh, are you getting my thought process? Okay, I'm gonna read a lot more today because I'm gonna log in. First, I'm gonna get my lunch. I'm gonna get my lunch, dinner, everything. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. As you know, I eat once a day, so I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna read today. I'm gonna read. I can't guarantee that I'll finish it because I have to edit and put up my video today. So yeah, that might take a while, but I'm gonna read. Yes, we're gonna do that. And I'll come back and maybe I'll be able to make sense of my thoughts. I can't really tell you about the plot or any of that because I'm just 11% in. I feel like you need about 14, 15% in to be able to tell where it's going. But yeah, I'll come back then and I'll tell you the plot. And if I think it's the plot and the person are going okay. Okay, I'll see you then. Hey, you guys. What did I come back when I said I will? No. But did I get off social media? I did. I did. Well, I did today. Okay, because the last time I spoke to you, it's Tuesday for context. The last time I spoke to you was on Wednesday, and I told you that I was going to come back and I was going to lock in and finish this book. I did not do that. Okay, I am so sorry. I am still reading Say You Remember Me. I'm going almost a word a day because I am so painstakingly slow. I actually filmed in the afternoon. It's Tuesday evening. I actually filmed a clip saying that I hate it. Okay, I'm 40% in. I hate it, but I'm actually so excited. That's why I'm here now. That clip you probably wouldn't see it, but I filmed something and I said I'm 40% in. I hate it. I'm giving up. I'm going to read Great Big Beautiful Life. I'm not gonna read this anymore. It's hard to force myself to read a book I don't want to read. It's dramatic. I'm annoyed. I don't like what's going on. Blah 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 blah. But I take all that back because wait. Rewind. Let's go back to the beginning. I'm so excited to tell you guys, but I will tell you. First, let's talk about the plot of this book because I was supposed to come back and tell you the plot. But now, let's say the plot of Say You Remember Me. The plot is there's a man and a woman, they met. Her name is Samantha. I think I said that in the last clip, I can't remember, but yes, I said her name is Samantha. She saw a stray cat and she took the cat to the veterinary doctor. The veterinary doctor, she likes him, he's handsome, she thinks he's great. Oh yeah, I did tell you because I was telling you he looked like Resent. That's what, yeah, and I didn't like that. But anyway, I forgive it. I forgive it. I forgive you, Abby. It's fine. Okay, so then they met, they went on this lovely date, and he finds out that, well, she's leaving the state. Actually, she's leaving the town, she's leaving the state. She lives in, they live in Minnesota. Well, he lives in Minnesota at this point, and she's moving to California to be with her mother who has dementia. Trigger warning for dementia, trigger warning for abuse. I'm not sure if I'll put it on the screen. I'm not sure if YouTube allows us to say that, but anyway, so she's moving, and then they find out they have to do this long distance, and it's like, wow, we had the best time. which, mind you, I didn't think the date was so great. I don't know why they can't get over it. Honestly, I'll be over it. But apparently, I'm not Samantha and I'm not Xavier. So you know what? Also, the conflict of the story is that they are long distance. They are so far from each other. I don't live in the US. I live in Ireland. I don't know, Minnesota and California. Apparently, they are so far away from each other. Blah blah blah. It's across the world. Ooh, this is too long distance for us. Phones exist, guys. FaceTime each other. Okay, I don't know. I don't get it. Look, my aunt always says I'm a bit of a I have my head in the clouds. I'm a bit delusional when it comes to romance. But for me, love conquers everything. Okay. What do you mean you made the love of your life and you're just gonna give it up because you're moving? Okay. Look, let's get in a relationship. Phones, we are phones. I mean, people were even dating. Okay, we're people that went to war and were writing letters. Why are you so forced? I don't know. I think people make too big of a deal out of it. I'm not saying that it doesn't have its challenges, but if this is the best person you've ever met, you've never had this kind of connection, I'm not letting that connection go. I'm a romantic. Okay, no, 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 no. I'm sticking with this. I mean, the alternative is that I'm single, and I don't find any other person that I really like. Don't you think that's a bit ridiculous? I think so. Life is too short, okay? Look, if you meet the love of your life, get in a relationship with them. Figure it out. You'll figure it out. I mean, do you get me? I think people overthink this. But like I said, this is just my opinion. That's just my own perspective on it. My aunt always says I'm delusional and I've not experienced it. I've never been in a long term relationship. Sorry, I've never been in a long distance relationship, guys. So I'm so sorry. I am not the person for this. I'm not speaking from experience. I'm just saying I don't mind long distance. Okay. Although most of my friendships are long distance and I love it. Okay, even my best friends, they're long distance. So long distance, I'm great. Okay, everybody I like, they're all the way somewhere else. I'm not saying I don't have people that like around me. I'm just saying, although my next relationship, I want the person to be around me because why not? I think I need to experience this thing everybody loves so much. But anyway, back to Samantha and Xavier. So they became the plot of the story. Whoa, whoa, Ayo, calm down. You're so excited. But yeah, the plot of the story is that they meet, they really like each other, they had this great dates, they went straight to it, and they're in love. So many times I just keep saying, hello, hello guys, you had one date together, one date, and you can't get over it. I'm sorry. If you were in a relationship, 5 months, like this is the love of my life. I get it. But you had one date, not even 2 weeks. Why are we so, I don't get it. I don't get it. I just kept saying you met once, guys. Calm down. Okay. It's like I've never felt this way before. It's everything to me. It gives me a calmness I've never felt with anyone else. Okay. I know I always say I don't mind insta love. When I mean I don't mind insta love, I don't mind, I can't stop thinking about this person. I don't mind that. But all of this, I can't give up my blah blah blah. I don't know. I think I'm just such a black and white person that for me it's either or. Like, are you gonna break up or not? Why are you wasting my time? Anyway, so I filmed the clip and I was saying I have anxiety. Abby needs to pay for my therapy because why it's so sad. They can't be together. They are long distance. Blah blah blah. And our mom has dementia, so there's a lot of grieving. I feel like I shouldn't have gone into this because Promise Me Sunshine was heavy. That was a lot of grief. And now there's also grief, but it's grieving a person that isn't gone. And this is so much. This is so difficult. And I just felt like I needed a break. But guess what? This evening I was gonna go on my walk and I was gonna start listening to an audiobook because I've been listening to music and podcasts through the week. And I thought, you know what, I should do an audiobook. And I saw that I have a free credit on Audible. And I saw Say You Remember Me recommended to me. And I thought, you know what? I should try it. And so I tried the sample and I really liked the voice actors and I thought, sure, I'll get it. So I did, and I listen to it on my walk and tell me why I'm having a great time. I love it. Okay, different experience, totally different experience. And this is what I always tell you guys. I think that there's something to be said. I know people always say audiobooks don't count. I don't think that is what we should be discussing. I think what we should be discussing is what exactly makes a good, what makes it so different, because some books work so well in audiobook. Like you'll be reading them and it's a chore. It really was a chore to get through this book for me. But as soon as I switched it, I'm so excited. I'm happy. I love it. Okay. I'm swooning. Okay. I don't mind any of it anymore. I love the voice actors. They're so good at what they do. Okay. Good job, Abby, for getting them. Okay, I'm so happy. I'm so happy for you that you got these voice actors because they are good at what they do. The guy, I'm swooning. Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm having a great time now. And you know what? We might finally finish Say You Remember Me because I was actually gonna start the Great Big Beautiful Life vlog. That's what I was gonna do because I wasn't interested in reading this, and this is, we have to be honest, okay? Hmm. You know what? That's all I have to tell you guys. I have been yapping for so long. But anyways, I am going to go back. Actually, I'm done with audiobooks. I'm back from my walk. That's why you see me this way. I'm just back from my walk. And I'm gonna read Great Big Beautiful Life because I also want to start that. But because I saw Amina reading it on TikTok. If you don't follow Amina, she's so great. She's so funny. Oh, I love her. I will link her channel below. And yeah, she's reading Great Big Beautiful Life, and she has me excited. And that's why I was like, I shouldn't be reading something I'm not excited for. Why can't I get into Great Big Beautiful Life and be excited with everybody? So yeah, I'm gonna start that after I end this. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the other side. It's taking me almost a week because last time I spoke to you was on Wednesday. But you know what? Better late than never. And I'll see you next time. No, not next time. I will see you in the next clip. I made it! Cue the clap track. I hope you're clapping. I hope you're clapping. Yes, I made it. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, we made it through. So you remember me. Yes, yes. Oh, yeah. Speech. I'll do it. Um, I want to thank Kristen Lurkin and Matt Lanta, the voice actors, for saying you remember me, for helping me get through this book. But most of all, I want to thank myself. Yeah, for pushing through, for continuing this very difficult story. Yeah. Okay. Hi. I'm back. It's Thursday. Yeah. And we're here to talk about Say You Remember Me. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I have so many thoughts. Ooh, where do I begin? See? This whole part. I have notes. I have a lot of notes. So many notes. But yes, we're gonna begin. I hope I don't talk too much. And if I do, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, so say you remember me. We're gonna start with plot and pacing. Oh, where do I begin? The plot of this book. I already told you guys the plot. So let's talk about whether it works. A lot of things happen. I think it's a very, it's pretty conventional for love romance novels. They meet, there's conflict, and then they're happy. You know, oh yeah, that works out. But I actually have a problem with the plot of this book. I feel like we lost the plot at some point because I have heard people say online that this doesn't feel like a romance and it feels like general fiction. But I beg to differ. I think it does feel like a romance because the romance is central to the plot. But I did remember that there was a point where I got to, and then Xavier came back, and I was like, oh yeah, this is a romance story. I forgot about him. Okay, I forgot about him. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me talk about plot. A lot of things happen without anything happen. I think at some point we lost the plot, which is very classic Abby. And in the way I feel like we lost the plot, because okay, this is a long distance relationship. I feel like we did not, yes, we spent so much time talking about how this isn't gonna work out, this isn't gonna work out without building the relationship first. So we spent so much time telling us, yeah, this will happen, and then this will happen, and we focused a lot on the family dynamics between Samantha and her family, which also was a lot. And the conflict. Okay, I felt like the conflict here, it was just it was almost unsustainable the romance. You just I feel like there was so much anxiety in this book, so much going on. Their relationship was perfect, but it was too perfect. Like the only thing that brought conflict was the outside stuff, the external stuff, which don't get me wrong, I love a romance that does that. I love a romance that doesn't focus on that doesn't bring the romance, that doesn't make the love story the conflict. I really, really love that. But I feel like there has to be some things that they have to walk through. I feel like what they had to walk through was trauma instead of the actual long distance. There was just trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma. And I had to be like, Abby, you have to pay for my therapy. Okay, what is happening? Oh my goodness. It was just a lot. This plot just needed conflict after conflict after conflict. Even their first date, I was like, I don't like this first date. This is not great. I don't think they belong together. Also, this whole idea, I know I always say, wait, I know I always say, I have to clarify, I like instant love, but I think I need to clarify that. I don't mean instant love, I like instant connection. I like an instant attraction. I love it. You see her across the room, ooh, she's intriguing. You see him across the room, okay, I'm intrigued. I really like this person. But will I upend my life for this person that I just met across the room? No, thank you. I don't know you. I don't know who you are. Okay, I'm not doing this. I feel like it just took us on this merry-go-round and nothing happens. And that was so painful for me. And what about the pacing? I felt like actually wrote that I had no issues with the pacing, but I disagree. I actually think I disagree with myself from when I wrote this. I think that there's something wrong with the person because the person of this relationship is that they met and we're like, oh, she's going long distance. And then the next thing, they're together. Which I was like, why are you guys together? Okay, you don't know each other. You went on one date. Granted, you had a great date, according to you, because I didn't think it was a great date, but you thought it was a great date. And you were like, okay, we're going to get together. I was like, why are you getting together? Because explain to me why you are doing this. I feel like she could have And I'm going to say what I thought could have happened. I thought that for the person to have worked, for people to have really believed, because I saw a lot of people online say they couldn't believe the love story. I think that for it to work a bit more, you have to take a page out of Kara's notes in Promise Me Sunshine by showing a bit of their relationship. I felt like Miles and Lenny, even though I was like, you guys were a bit quick, I felt like I understood them and I understood their dynamic and I spent a lot of time with them. Whereas here, they'll just tell us they had a good date, they had a good FaceTime. Show us the FaceTime, okay? What if, what Abby did was that after she went away and they had that first date, and she was like, let's not do this. And it's like, I can't forget you. After a while, it calls her, it shows up, blah, blah, blah. What if it didn't show up? What if he called her and they started having this long distance calls? Not long distance, they started having this nighttime calls and they started having FaceTime calls. And they just started feeling like, oh, I think this person might be the one. Do you understand? I think it gives you a different perspective when you show it as opposed to telling me this is what happened and then they're together and then it's like, oh, they're going through all of these problems to stay apart. Because long distance shouldn't be this hard. Oh God, I think I said it in my last. I still don't get why people go on and on about how they can't do long distance. Phones exist, FaceTime exists. It does not replace physical touch. It does not replace seeing each other, but you don't have to kill yourself for it. I feel like it's so much better than what our grandparents had. You know, you could call, you could text, you could, wow, there's so much you could do. There's so much you could do. And I felt like that relationship was just so much, so sad, like this is supposed to be the romance that's going to make me happy. Yes, apart from everything else that's going on in um what's her name, Samantha's life, just like with uh Lenny in Promise Me Sunshine. She's going through all of this, but the romance should be your happy place. And Samantha tells me that a romance with Xavier is a happy place, but I just feel like she's saying that, but every time they're together, I'm sad. Okay, maybe it's just I'm an anxiety girl. Okay, I'm always anxious. I can't be happy if there's just thing looming over us, and there's this thing looming over them of we are long distance. We don't know how long this is gonna be. I'm not gonna leave. Okay, I forgot to tell you that Xavier cannot leave because he took out loans to open his own practice, and so he has to pay for that, and he's still in debt, and he can't sell it. Obviously, it being debt, his credit score will tank, all of that. So it's a lot going on. So I felt like that pacing was off because next thing I know, they're together. Next thing I know, they're dealing with this conflict of this long distance. Whereas if we had seen a little bit of that build up to their relationship, then we get to, oh, long distance is hard. Oh, should we break up? Do you get me? I feel like if you are you getting what I'm saying? I feel like that didn't really work. So that plot and that pacing was a bit off, and it just pretty much disoriented me when I was reading it. But I also felt like there was just so much going on. Okay, every minute, even their dates. I was saying, oh my goodness, everything happened. You had to jump into the lake to get her phone. I hope this is not a spoiler, but like this happened in like first 20% of this book. And I was like, this is not a good date. I'm anxious. If that happened to me on my day, I'm like, okay, you know what? We shouldn't do this. We shouldn't do this. But anyway, that was how I felt. Okay, that is plot and pacing. Let's talk about character development. What character development? What character development? I felt like the same people I met at the beginning, Samantha and Xavier that I met in the beginning of the story, are the same ones that I ended the story with. The choices that they made are the same thing that I would have assumed that they made. I wasn't surprised. I wasn't shocked. I didn't think that anything was different about them. I felt like they were the same people, except for maybe Xavier making a huge decision that I cannot tell you that is a spoiler. But apart from that, but even with that, I felt like that is kind of true to his character. I also felt like Xavier was perfect. And I said this in my first uh in my introduction clip. I was talking about how Abby has this thing where she writes perfect men. And there's nothing wrong with a perfect man. I mean, I told you guys I watched K drama When Life Gives You Tangerine, and Grant Sheik is a perfect man, but he is a flawed man. And I feel like Xavier is not flawed. Okay, Xavier said all the right things. Xavier never got mad. Xavier was killing himself. At some point, I expected him to raise his voice and be like, sis, okay, I'm tired. Why am I doing all the work? I feel like that is what a real person would do. You'll get frustrated. Okay, I always say that when it comes to character development, one of the masters of it is Jane Austen, and she doesn't need a lot of paragraphs. She does this in very short paragraphs. You totally see this person. You understand who this person is. You understand their motivations, and one of the reasons why we get that is because we know their background, and people are complex. People are not one thing. Okay, Mr. Darcy is rude and is arrogant and is a bit proud, but he is also kind and is also self what's the word what's the word self-sacrificing, and he's also loving, and he's a great brother, and he's a great boss. Do you get what I mean? That is the juxtaposition is what Elizabeth has to deal with, and she's like, oh, okay, okay. You know what I mean? That is a rounded person. Mr. Bingley in Pride and Prejudice is also a flawed man. Okay, he's perfect. He loves Jane. He's crazy about her, but he's also easily persuaded without even having a conversation with her. Do you get what I'm saying? So nobody is completely perfect. I am not perfect. So why is this love interest perfect? Grand Sheik in When Life Gives You Tangerines, the K drama, is a great husband. He'll do anything for her. He'll give up his life for her, but he's also timid, less inclined to do all these big things. Do you get what I'm trying to say? People are not one thing. It's also poor, and the reason why is because it doesn't take risks. Are you saying what I'm saying? People are not one thing. They have to be rounded. But I felt like Xavier was just one thing, and that is perfect. It does not flaws. It does all the good things. A brother meets him, he loves him. A mother that doesn't remember her meets him, loves him. Everybody loves him. I was like, okay, okay. He even went viral. I was like, okay, dude, okay, spare me. And Samantha had no personality outside of her trauma. Okay, I feel like the only thing I know about Samantha is that her mother has dementia and she's dealing with that. That's it. Okay, that's all Samantha is. Even though we have this dark point of view that we can take that we can use to get to know this the inner workings of these people, their contradictions. Because, like I said, people are complex. We're not one thing. We contradict ourselves. We want something and then we take it back. I feel like with them, I didn't see any of that. Samantha is just like, oh, oh my goodness, Xavier shouldn't have to do this. Oh, I wish he was here. Oh, I wish he was here. I was like, girl, stop harping on this. Okay, call in. When her brother told her that, I was like, yeah, okay, I don't know why you keep talking about it. Okay, you're annoying me now. Okay, someone get over yourself. Someone get over yourself. I just felt like that was a bit much. And so, because of that, I feel like we did not get to see a little bit of these two people, and like we had this whole book, and I felt like nothing changed about them. They were fundamentally the same people. They went on this journey, but what journey? Okay. Yeah, I feel like because Abby was substituting the conflict for this whole thing going on with uh Samantha's mom and dad, and uh Xavier's backstory is supposed to be all we get of him, of his personality. So it's a bit gruff. Oh, people are gruff. Okay, I may be gruff. I'm not that warm. I'm not a very warm person, and there's a reason for that, and you know it. But it doesn't really tell you everything about me. It doesn't really develop anything about my character. Are you getting what I'm saying? I feel like of course we're connected, you're my besties, you get it. So yeah, that is something that I felt like was missing in this. Now let's talk about themes. This is where we talk about what I liked. I really, really loved how um Abby uses the theme of memory in this book. I feel like Memory is to say you remember me, what grief was to promise me sunshine. It makes up a huge chunk of the story. It drives the plot. So we are seeing this parallel life between Samantha's mom losing her memory and losing pretty much losing all the people that she loved, and people that she loved losing her, and Samantha on the other hand making these memories with Xavier and falling in love with him and realizing that life is so precious and she has to make all of this. She has to take the time and hold on to these memories. I thought that was really, really well done. I loved that. I loved all the quotes. There was a quote where she says, "She was forgetting from the present backward, a life on rewind, people and places and experiences blurring and vanishing. Maybe at the end, all that will be left will be a memory like this one." And I thought, oh, that's so sweet because it's so true. Dementia is such a very, very difficult sickness to go through. And I had a friend who lost her mom to dementia, and it was heartbreaking, totally heartbreaking. And yeah, it takes for the caregivers, it's a lot, it's a very difficult thing to be a caregiver. And I liked how Abby showcased this in this book. I thought it was really well done. The memory theme, how she weaves it around, and how it even helps in Samantha and Xavier's relationship, and for them to realize that we shouldn't let this go just because it's difficult, because we are seeing somebody else lose that memory, and we wouldn't want to. When you look back on your life, you want to say that you made the choices that were important and you held on to the right memories. So I thought that was really well done, and I love this part. She couldn't make any more memories with me, but I could still make memories with her. I would be a witness to her life, even though she was done witnessing mine. That was so good, so good. That's like, oh my goodness, that is so painful, but so true. I love that she's still taking the time to make memories. Her mother, even though her mother can no longer make memories with her. And oh, okay. So look, I could go on and on about the theme of memory and how she utilized it and how she really used it to drive this plot. And even when they pull back, they remember that okay, this is going on, this is going on. And of course, the devastating loss of seeing her mother lose her memories first with her kids, a job, all of that. It was devastating. It was so painful. It was really painful. Oh my goodness. And yeah, okay, I was in so much pain. I was in so much pain. Okay, and there was another very prominent theme is the theme of family. So Samantha's relationship with her family. I love the sibling dynamic in this. I don't know if anybody else felt that way. I haven't really heard people talk about it a lot, but our relationship with Tristan was so good. I thought it was such a good depiction of the brother sister relationship because you annoy me the most in the world, but I'll also die for you. And then like that's the brother sister relationship. As someone that has a younger brother, I get it. I get it, like, oh my goodness, stay away from me. But also I like you. So it's fun. It's a good relationship, and I loved that family was such a plays a huge part in this relation in this book and in this story. I love that Samantha has such a close relationship with her family, and I love that we also contrast that with Xavier and his family. Xavier does not have a good relationship with his family. His family is abusive, and so he has to set boundaries with them. And it's also about found family. So Xavier has this found family of from his friends and their own parents that took him in and helped him. But I wish that we actually spent a little bit more time doing that. I also feel like it will have helped with Xavier's character development, seeing a little bit of his own family, his own life, and what that is, instead of always bringing it back to Samantha. Especially because we have his own point of view. I feel like we could have done something apart from Samantha. It's about making these people well fleshed out 3D in 3D. I could see them without him being in the book. And yeah, but I love the juxtaposition of when Even Samantha had to say that, was it Samantha or Xavier that said it? That I love that you are making all these sacrifices for your mother because you love her so much. And I wouldn't do that because I don't really care that much about my family, you know, something like that. But yeah, I get like that contrast that family is what you make it, and the love is what makes it grow, and it's why you stay together through difficult periods. It's that love that keeps you going, and it's all the sacrifices that your parents and your family has made for you. I thought that was really well done, and yeah, I love the sibling dynamic. I love the little that she shows up, the friends that he also has, and that it's made his family. So that was good, and how much they were willing to do for him, but also even his work colleagues, the his receptionists, really good. And there's a secret person in the book that I can't talk about, but yeah, it's a spoiler, but lovely. Really loved it. I really enjoyed that part. Of course, there's also connected with the memory is the grief. There's a lot of grief, grieving someone that is still here, and that is so difficult. Oh my goodness, I feel like it's a different sort of form of grief because you're watching this person slowly die. And oh, it is a lot. It was a lot for me. It was a lot, and it's connected to the theme of memory because obviously it's dementia and caregiving. And yeah, she also does touch a bit on the frustrating, relentless hard work that comes with caregiving. And yeah, I thought that was really well done. I really loved what Abby did with the teams here. And yeah, I think they were really good, and it was a good depiction of exactly how difficult it can be to lose a parent to dementia. Not that she lost her, but you're losing them basically because it's not the same person anymore. I mean, there's a point where she even tells Xavier, um, when he says, I'd love to meet her, and she says, yeah, but you're never gonna meet her. So that was heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. But yeah, okay, so let's talk about the romance. Oh, I don't know. I love the romance, but I also don't like it. Just like I was saying with the character development, I felt like we didn't see so much of it. We were told more of it. And it's really, look, I know people always say show don't tell, but I remember one of my professors in school when I was doing my creative writing course used to say yes, but rules are meant to be broken because he has read a book that was all telling and it was brilliantly done. And so it is possible for you to do it. But I feel like, yeah, we didn't really get that. We're told so much about how perfect their romance is. I felt like it was all a little too soon because it was always like, yeah, it makes me feel calm, it makes me feel everything. And I was like, okay, you met him 5 days ago. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? But of course, there's so many moments. I love when there's a point where this was very early on actually, and he was like, I feel like I met my wife. And I was like, ooh, that is so sweet. I love that. Okay, one thing about me, I love when men are like, oh, I'm gonna marry her. Yes, 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 yes. Let's do it. So that was beautiful, and I love the quotes in this. I'm gonna read some of them. It said, "I never felt like I belonged anywhere or to anyone, but I belonged to her." Okay, okay, Xavier. Okay, Xavier. It says, "You're my favorite person." Did you know that? Okay. This actually reminds me of Emily Henry. Emily Henry's Beach Read. There's a quote that I absolutely adore. Like, I do not like that book, but that quote, you're so perfectly my favorite person. Bonding it. I loved it. And that reminded me of that quote because, yeah, who doesn't want to meet their favorite person? I want to meet my favorite person. And I want to be someone's favorite person. Okay. Oh, I wish I was somebody's favorite person. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not. But okay. So, and there's this part where it says, "I don't want to break up." Like when they were having a discussion about their long distance, and it says, "I don't want to break up." I said, "Don't even talk about that." And she said, "I don't want to break up either." But that's what Samantha said. Replied, and Xavier replied, but nothing. That's not the solution. I will never be happier without you. Okay, Xavier. Okay, Xavier. Okay, Xavier. And then when he said, because if you were my wife, you will be my world. Everything starts with you and ends with you. Anything else is just stuff that happens in the middle. Xavier, I told you, is a perfect man. Okay, this man deserves the world. He was moving mountains for her, and I was like, ooh. On the other hand, I have to note that this is the one time that I didn't feel like the other person did not have a right to do it. While I did understand, I read comments when I was scrolling reviews online, and somebody said I needed Xavier to stand up. That's okay. That's classic. That's classic internet talk. I needed him to stand up, and I was like, I get it, but in this case, I also get Samantha. I feel like this is the one time that Abby could sell it to me. I could understand where Samantha is coming from and why she can do all the sacrifices. She's going through this very incredibly difficult period. And, you know, I feel like relationships are always about that. Sometimes somebody has to pick up the slack because I don't believe in all that 50-50 thing because life is not 50-50. Sometimes you have to do the 70. Sometimes I have to do the 70, but it's important that we know that it will shift. It becomes resentment. It fosters resentment when only one person is doing all the sacrificing. And I can get why people felt like in this story, Xavier was the only one doing all the sacrificing. But I feel like we're missing him in this very difficult period of her life that we cannot expect that from Samantha, you know. Unlike in Just for the Summer, where I felt like Justin didn't deserve that. And I felt like he needed to stand up. But okay, how about the romance? So yeah, that is it. I thought it was a lovely romance. I thought it was well done, but it could have been better. It could have been paced better, and it could have been shown better. But all in all, I was swimming. Okay, look, I showed a few. I don't know if I took a few clips of me smiling and laughing. I loved it. Then about the writing. This writing is very millennial. Is it millennial or Gen Z? I don't even know, but it was one of them, and it was so internet. It was so full of pop culture. Oh my goodness! After the it was very conversational. So there was Rizat, I Lord of the Night Gods, which is still Akota Tones and Roses. I was like happy. And then there was Be So For Real. It's like, okay, I want to in a way that's a threat to feminism. That is internet speak if I've ever seen it. Okay. I mean the first time I saw that, I think I saw it on Sonny Kim's I remember I was watching one of her videos and she was talking about her book boyfriends and she was like, oh, I love this man. I want him in a way that will set feminism back by 100 years. I was like, okay, yeah. Okay. Let's not joke about that, but okay. So, but that is very internet speak, and there's someone going viral. It's like it's written by someone that is very chronically online. Look, I had no problem with it. I know some people it really irked them, but I thought it was funny. Okay, I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. The writing was very conversational. Okay, I'm gonna give an example. There was a point when she said, "Seriously, I did not need a reminder of how perfect it was." Yeah, that's very conversational, but I really enjoyed that. There was even a Darcy reference. Okay, there was a time when she talked about the Pride and Prejudice 2025. There were social media references, and she's a social media manager, so I can understand why there'll be a lot of it. But I feel like this book is so 2025 coded. It's so 2025 coded. Someone has all the time. Like I remember there's a review that I saw and somebody titled it say you get off TikTok, Abby. I was like, okay. So yeah, I know there was Google is free. I just found it funny. I thought it was also oh no. I just dropped my pen, I'm sorry. And she was like, Google is free. I found it very funny. The tone was playful, it was conversational, it was very modern, very modern day. And a lot of similes. Oh my goodness. I forgot how much we use that right now. Oh, there's just so much of it. Okay, like I just said, okay, I'm gonna read a couple of quotes. It said, I didn't belong in a state that required grit. She was talking about Minnesota. Minnesota, I didn't belong in a this is Samantha talking about Minnesota. I didn't belong in a state that required grit to make it through the winters. I wasn't a grit kind of girl. Me too, Samantha. Me too. I'm not a grit kind of girl. But that that is so modern. We are the ones that speak like that. And when she was like, I knew he was a doctor. I knew he did surgeries. Like in theory, I knew. Like yeah, that is so modern. That's how we speak now. And it was written in Joel first person point of view, but I also felt like we didn't get to know them, which I already discussed. Sentence structure was very simple, short, modern, you know. But now we're going to go to relevance time period. I'm going to say all those things, social media. There was a lot of social media, but I also felt, I don't know, this is a theory I have, that I think that it also tells us a little bit about our time period, that we sometimes conflict depth for trauma. There was a lot of trauma, and I feel like she felt like that was giving us depth. I mean Abby. I feel like Abby, the writer, was giving us depth by showing us all this trauma and all this backstory, and it was trauma after trauma. Like, look, everything that you think will go wrong goes wrong in the story. So be careful about that. But yeah, and that is a very modern thing that we do, that we sometimes conflate depth for trauma. We feel like if there's so much trauma and if we know so much, like if this person is going through so much, then they are so deep. Like, not really, not necessarily. You could have a probably good life and still be deep, you get what I mean? Mr. Richard Steingen is, well, he did have a little bit of trauma, but also, like, we know he's a womanizer. We knew he had problems in his family, but we also know that he's not that. He's an alpha male. He's all this. Is very gruff. He's very annoying. He irritated me a lot. He's a bit of a bully. But like that, I feel like that is the depth of that character as opposed to all of this trauma and nothing else. I feel like, we also conflate it with personality. Trauma doesn't make your personality. For instance, right now, if you meet me, I'm grieving, I'm depressed, I'm anxious. There's a lot about me. But that's not all there is to me. Okay, I also love K dramas. I also love food. I will eat everything and anything. Like that is all these little quirks. I really, really enjoy taking notes. I don't have hobbies apart from reading. That's it. I don't do anything. I don't go out. That is very me. Those are like very tiny things that you'd find about me. I can also be funny. I can, like, I'm not only about the grief, and I'm not only about the depression, and I am a very, very sad person, and I'm a very like I everything about me is like so sad. Do all this ending, blah 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 blah. But I can't have fun. I'm not one single thing, and yeah, I feel like we do that in modern day. So I think like that is so. I feel like a lot of people do not like this book, but I feel like 50 years from now, when we read this book, we're gonna be like, this is so 2025. And this is so 2025. And I thought it was good. I thought that was a good thing. I thought that was a good thing. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, so we've gone through plot pacing. Yeah, I feel like we've gone through everything. Now let's talk about the entertainment. It's gonna be 40% for me. It's gonna be 40% for me, yes. Why? Because I did not have a good time. Like I told you. I thought I was gonna have a good time. I also feel like what caused this was that I read Promise Me Sunshine before this, and that was all about the grief. Look, I did not enjoy this. It was so bad that when I finished this, I actually gave it 4.25 on my Fable and Storygraph. And then I went back and I thought, you know what? And then I started thinking about these notes and making the notes. And I realized, no, I didn't like it that much. I mean, because I had so much to complain about. And I was like, no, no, it can't be, right? It can't be. So, because of that, it's gonna be like 40%. And so my overall, after all this speaking and talking and I think we are going to settle on a 3.5. It's not a 3. It should be a 3, but it's a 3.5 because of the audiobook. Christine Larkin and sorry, Christine Lakin and Matt Lanta. They're the MVPs. They are the MVPs. They saved this book. Okay, they saved this book for me. Because online, everybody was like, this is a quick read. Guys, it took me 2 weeks. I couldn't get through it. But I also feel like it's also because of what I read before it, because I read Promising Sunshine, and because of how I am feeling mentally. So it might not really affect you, you know. So what do I think? Do you should you read it? Probably not. Like I think that it's good. Okay, you can read it if you want, but just be prepared for all the trauma and everything that you're going to go through. It is a lot. It is a lot going on, and that is hard. Okay, and I feel like even the romance was hard. So please, please, please. Okay, it shouldn't be this hard. Life shouldn't be this hard. Okay, this is a romance novel. Please, romance writers. Okay, so I'm gonna read Greg what? I'm gonna read Great Big Beautiful Life next, and if there's grief in it, I'm not reading it. So what we've concluded is that Say You Remember Me is going to be a 3.5. Yeah, yeah. And that yeah, so that is all for Say You Remember Me, the blog. I hope that you have enjoyed it. Okay, so what will be this? If you made it here, I'm so glad. Thank you so much for watching. And my I always have a secret emoji, and my secret emoji would be the cloud emoji because it's always raining here. This whole week it's been raining in Ireland, and because this book was just raining, okay, clouds everywhere. So it's gonna be the cloud emoji. I'm gonna put it somewhere here, and yeah, and okay, as a treat, I'm going to leave you with a I'm going to leave you with a quote from this book that I think sums up everything about this book that is great. It says, there's nothing more beautiful than being a witness to someone's life, to know them inside and out and be with them through everything, share the same memories. Memories are everything. I hope that you find someone to witness your life. If it's a friend, if it's a family member, and if it's a romantic partner, whichever one, I hope that you make memories with them, that you stick with it, and that you hold on to those memories. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I have really loved hanging out with you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.